Hello guys, welcome back to the Drum Central YouTube. My name's Rohan Bumbra and I'll be filming some exclusive lessons for this channel. And for our first lesson we're looking at a really cool Jojo Mayer lick. So he uses this lick in the 2005 Modern Drummer Festival with his band Nerve. The specific song is Jabon, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but I'll put a link in the description below of the actual performance. Now I was immediately drawn to this fill because it's a very exciting, very cool sounding fill, and it visually looks really interesting. Now to make this a bit more simple, rather than just learning the entire fill in one chunk, I'm going to break it up into little sections and then we're going to put it back together and then we'll have the entire fill. So it's a 2-bar fill and it's in 4/4 time and it's around 180 BPM, so it's on the faster side of things because it is drum and bass music. Rhythmically the fill is fairly simple, it's just got 8th and 16th notes. So let's look at the first bar of the fill, so that's the first half of the fill. So what we're doing here is just 8th notes, so we're just counting that as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the phrasing of this bar is just 3, 3, 2. So the way we accent that is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'm clapping on the start of each phrase. And the sticking of this bar is just right, right, left, right, right, left, left, right. And the orchestration is just bass drum and floor tom, crash cymbal, then a snare drum in the left hand, and we do that twice. And then this is the tricky bit, we actually lead with our left hand now, and we do a floor tom and bass drum and a crash cymbal by itself. So what I'll do is I'll just play that bar by itself with a metronome. And that is the first half of the fill. The only tricky bit is just changing that lead hand to the left hand with the floor tom. But as you bring in the second bar, you realise that it gels quite nicely together. And the reason this fill sounds so interesting is because you are changing that lead hand from the right to the left. So let's look at bar 2. So bar 2 starts just like the end of bar 1. We're doing a left hand with a floor tom and bass drum, crash cymbal, and we do that twice as 8th notes. So what I'm going to do is just play bar 1, and I'm just going to play that bit extra of bar 2. And that's what I'm talking about when I said it starts to gel together, because you're just continuing that phrase. And last but not least, the final 2 beats of this fill, what we're doing here is we're actually doing some 16th notes. And the rhythm itself that you're doing is 3 and 4 E and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and boom. And the sticking is just left, right, left, bass, bass together. And the orchestration is just snare, crash cymbal, ghosted snare, 2 bass drums, and then together with a snare and crash. And that is the entire fill. So that is the basis of the fill. You can absolutely go out and just use that as the fill by itself. But there's a couple other things that you can do to add that extra Jojo Mayer craziness on top. So the first thing you can do is you can choke the cymbal when you bring in the next bar of music. This creates a really cool effect because in drum and bass music you're chopping up lots of sampled drums, and the way you just choke that cymbal, it's almost really abrupt and it creates that sampled sound. So Jojo Mayer uses that a lot, and I recommend you check out the performance because you see how much he's choking the cymbals, and you can see how you can properly do it and not what I'm doing, you know. He's much better at it than me. So the second thing that's going to take it to even crazier levels is you can add a quarter note hi-hat splash when you're doing that drum fill. So if you're not familiar with a hi-hat splash, it's just where you strike the bottom of the heel plate of the hi-hat pedal and it creates a kind of splash effect because you're just hitting the cymbals together but they're opening up again. It's kind of a similar effect to when you've got two cymbals in an orchestra setting and you just crash them together, you know. I'll show you an example of that quickly. And that is brutal, that is really hard, especially at the higher tempos. So if you are attempting to do that, just take it slow and get the control first and then speed it up. Anyway, that just about wraps up the lesson. I hope you enjoyed. If you want the sheet music, it'll be in the description below, as well as the actual performance that I transcribed this lick from. So obviously I'm new to this channel, but I'm going to be doing video lessons fairly regularly. So if there's anything that you want covered, let me know in the comments below, and if there's any feedback, please let me know as well, because I want to make these videos as best as possible for you guys. But in the meantime, if you want more lessons from me, there's loads of videos on my original channel. There's like 50 plus drum lessons there ready for you, and I hope you enjoy them as well. But yeah, thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed this little lesson, and until next time, take care. See you later.